The whole show. The inmates have kind of been running the asylum today, so I'm pulling back on the reins. And my good friend Keith Jeannotm here, CEO of Directwest, joining us in the bunker. It's been a while since we've chatted. How are you, Keith? I'm good. His mic died. How come I don't hear him? You got it. They didn't have your mic on, but it's good now. Yeah, hey, you're loud and proud.
All right.
Not easy times, Keith, and we've been together, your brand, our brand, for about a year, I think, and a few things have happened in that time.
Yeah, there's been a little bit, yes.
Yeah, so, and for those that don't know that are watching all across the continent, Directwest, do you want to explain what you do?
Sure. Directwest is a marketing services company. It was born out of the telco and the Yellow Pages industry, and we've just, of course, transformed our business along with everyone else. We look after a lot of small, medium-sized businesses across the province, handling their digital media for them. And this seemed to be a nice fit. You're a modern approach to digital media and how things, how people like to consume. And so we thought this aligned really good with our brand. And so, we're spending a lot of time right now talking to businesses that have been affected by this pandemic.
And that's the point. I mean, we've been hammering home with the help of Directwest, supporting local.
Yes.
Within if you're not in Saskatchewan, shop local in the province or state that you're in, right? That's right. We're trying to connect each other. Yep. So what sorts of things are Directwest doing to help? Because you deal with how many, thousands of businesses,
yeah,
right?
I mean, literally it's thousands, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about folks that we'll actually market or do some form of marketing plan for, it's around 8,000. So, and that's just in the province of Saskatchewan is where we operate. And so we've been hearing a lot. And of course, when you deal with that many businesses, you deal with a wide variety of industries. So you have some, of course, that during the pandemic have been hit very hard when you talk about things like, especially during the full lockdown, like restaurants and beauty salons and things like that. And then, of course, we've had some other, businesses that have thrived through this that you also work with. We mentioned RV dealers earlier. If you were selling trampolines this year, you had a great year.
Yep.
And so forth. So yeah, we've been working with all of those. When when this first hit and the lockdown came in, one of our our largest priority was to protect the health of our employees and our customers. So we took as many staff as we could, moved them home as fast as we could, and we've done a lot more adoption of new technologies to operate with our customers using video chat and so forth. And then we did a few other things. We altered some of our sales programs to allow a little more flexibility in the terms, depending upon how you were being affected by the economic changes that were going on. We had a deferral payment plan we put in place in order to give people a little bit of relief from some of the slowdown they were going in their business. Outside of that, we tried to do some public good type things. I'm not sure if everyone would be aware, but we run a very large footprint of digital billboards across the province, and so we made sure we put up all that good safety messaging around wash your hands, distance, etc. Published that around the province, and then we did a really big buy local campaign and come back in and buy from the folks here that live here in your community and put people to work.
Of these points here, and you just rattled them off the top of your head. That doesn't surprise me that you could do that. But see, with me, you know me long enough. The digital media, social media, I've always kind of got. Yeah. I've been doing it a long time. And I never thought twice about it until the pandemic hit. And then you realize not everybody understands it.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing I learned, too, is business owners are busy running their business.
Yeah.
Right? Not tweeting and Instagramming. And so with this curbside delivery and pickup and everything, that's been a huge thing that you've been able to help businesses out with.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Rod. I mean, what we've seen now is an acceleration towards where we were going anyway. But now the sense of urgency has picked up. So if you hadn't had e-commerce in the past, you want it now. And of course, we spent a big portion of the early days, and we've done this ongoing during the pandemic. When you manage this many customers, you have to tell their customers where they at in their COVID management. Are they open? Are they closed? Are they curbside? Are they delivery? That sort of thing. And so what we've seen is a big push from a lot of customers to say, I have to find new ways to get my goods to market. And I think to some extent, you think about some of the long-term effects on what this means so far as, economics go in around the province. And you think about things like, do I need as much footprint as I used to on my building? Do I need more staff on delivery now than I do on front end and things like that? So these businesses are going through a tremendous amount of change, and it's all been rushed. The digital evolution has been rushed upon them. Much because of this pandemic.
And change is stressful. And Directwest can help them alleviate that. So
Absolutely.
he's a hockey guy, by the way. His son's a high-level hockey player. You're on, is it Hockey Regina board or SHA board?
SHA.
The Saskatchewan Hockey Association. So for our MySask 411 Business of the Week, we're going to stay in the hockey realm here. It is extreme hockey. Jason Degelman and his family and staff are exactly the kind of local business that we need to support. Directwest has helped Extreme with their web strategies in both management of their website and marketing on Google, marketed them on our digital outdoor network.
Yep.
And, of course, we market them on MySask 411. They're our Business of the Week, Extreme Hockey. What would you like people to know about them?
I think you certainly covered a bit of it. When you think about Jason Degelman and his family, what they do in this community isn't just they sell you great quality products at a good price that you don't have to go to the box store to get or order it in that brown box with the black smile. I mean, you get to touch it, feel it. They put back in the community. You wouldn't believe that, just like many of the sporting goods stores around the province do, whether it be Al Anderson in Saskatoon or Jeans in Prince Albert. These are all companies that give back to the community. They sponsor teams. They sponsor various events. I chaired the Graham Tour Bantam Challenge there for a couple of years. And, I mean, the companies like this are the ones giving you the goods you need in order to do prizing for players, et cetera, all that kind of stuff. So, just good, what you would call backbone of your community type people. And not only do they employ great people, but, I thought it worth noting this past year that they took on an employee with autism, which I thought was fantastic. I mean, these are the type of people we should support, people who are trying to bring in the fringe, people of the economy who are trying to find their way and build their lives. And I just think that's just wonderful when those things happen.
And his kid, Hunter, plays for the Pac Canadians, too. Correct. And when my nephew asked for a football helmet for Christmas, I actually called Jason Degelman. I'm like, Degsy, do you got football helmets down there? He's like, you don't just buy a helmet for Christmas, Rod. You need to pump it up with it. Can I interest you in something else? So that's the service.
Yes.
He's not going to snow you.
Absolutely.
Okay? He's going to do what's best for you. And in the time we have left, because it is a sports show, what's Directwest doing with the teams? Because if you've noticed, none are playing here.
Yeah, so when we looked at all of our sponsorships, but for focusing on sports for this conversation, we thought it was very important to leave our funds in place. So as seasons didn't go ahead and as things are getting canceled slowly over time, obviously we just saw the Rush announcement yesterday and so forth, our position has been to leave the funding in place, because they still have overhead in many cases, and then defer the value we might be getting out of those sponsorships. And then some of the entities have been a bit creative to still try and deliver it in other ways right now. But we really didn't want to be part of the problem by removing those funds from these various entities. And I mean, we deal with a wide group. You mentioned, we work with associations that represent kids, such as Sask Hockey, Sask Soccer, and so forth. And then we get directly involved with teams or leagues, whether it be SJHL, major partner with SJHL. Yeah. We just picked up Junior B this year for this reason. We thought there's a league that needs help too. And working with them, work with the local Regina Rams here. We obviously have been involved with the Riders for a long time.
Saskatchewan Soccer Association.
You got it, yeah. The Rush, I think I already mentioned, and so forth. So that's been our position in how we're going to try and, again, give back to the community. We live here. This is our thing, and so that's just part of being a good citizen.
And if I may, just in the 2 minutes that we have left here, I want to hit home buy local again, because I think people are getting used to the pandemic, Keith. We're 10 months into it, and it's these businesses are still hurting. As a matter of fact, a lot of them just been hanging on till now. Yep. This is not the time to give up the buy local and go buy Amazon. They need it now more than ever, and the projections I'm hearing are we could be in for another year of this at least. I don't know, but I just think it's important that support your local business. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, this is... these are the people that make for the good life that we have here in this province, and that's why we're such a big supporter of it. And I might stress that I think people could do even more. Do the little bit of extra work rather than blaming it on convenience of the being able to bring up your app and order from Amazon. Help them make that call. They may not be e-commerce enabled yet, but you know what? They'll get you the goods, and they'll figure out how you can pay for it and so forth like that. And it pains me. I was with one of my sons the other day in traffic, and I saw this car with the boxes were filled in the back of the Amazon boxes, and I was just like, this isn't what we're supposed to be doing. And I understand there's some things you can't get local. That's fine, but let's make that extra effort, even if it takes a little more on our part, to get this business to them.
That's my point, is they were doing it for a while, and it seems like they kind of got away from it. So let's stay with buy local.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we covered it all. Stay safe. Enjoy Super Bowl, Keith.
Yeah, I will do. Thanks for having me again.
All right, Keith Jeannotm, the CEO of Directwest.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.